Hello everyone, Josh first back at it again with another Epic 7 video. Today we got a discussion topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. It's been something that's been kind of just spammed everywhere, and I think enough is enough. So, in case you're new to Epic 7, there is a character in the Korean side of the game that was released before we were able to play on Global. And that character is, of course, Luna, which you can see here on your screen. I already have her pulled up for you. Now, the biggest reason that people want her, I think, is the fact that, you know, she has assets. And to be honest, guys and girls, there's websites out there that you can look at real people with assets as well. Just saying. But anyways, so if that's the only reason that you're trying to pull for Luna or you're asking for Luna, you need to stop, please. So, the entire Reddit community, Discord community, social media galore, everyone is asking every single week, when is Luna coming? Or they're speculating that Luna is going to be the next banner. And time again, Luna, of course, has not come. Now, with the whole Lunar thing coming at the beginning of February, people think that the next banner, again, is going to be Luna. It could be, sure. If it is, awesome. Or it could be Litica or some other unit or whatever. Who knows? Smilegate likes to surprise us when it comes to banners. Look at Violet. He came out of nowhere. So, that's kind of cool. But, is Luna even worth all of the hype? Is, like, why? So, we're going to go ahead and talk about her skills real quick. We're going to look at her base stats as well. Because a lot of people don't go over base stats. Base stats are actually pretty important because sometimes the skills may be somewhat decent. But if they can't scale properly with the base stats, sometimes it just doesn't work out. But as I can tell you right now, from a spoiler alert, kind of, Luna is pretty good. But let's go over it anyway. So her base stats at 6-star, because we don't do awakens, because not everyone can 6-star awaken yet, because that is a lot of investment. But most of you, if you've been saving up a lot of fodder, you could probably 6-star Luna pretty easily. So let's just go by that. So anyways, 14,842 combat power. She gets 889 attack, 5364 on HP, 109 speed, so okay speed, especially for a warrior, and 592 defense. Critical, of course, 15%, 150%, excuse me, critical hit damage. So that is her base stats. Of course, if you do awaken her all the way at 17,000, it's pretty good. I think 17,000 is around the top 15, top 20 in the game in terms of full base stats after fully awakened, I do believe. I might have to go fact check that, but yes, I do believe so. Anyways, so skill 1. Infinity Slash, acquire 1 soul, stabs the target a random number. Stabs the target a random number of times. Skill cooldown decreases by 1 to 3 turns, and damage dealt increases according to the number of attacks. Now, of course, that's a very RNG heavy skill, but if you can get it on its utmost potential, it is very, very good and can do a lot of damage. And the skill cooldown decreases by 1 to 3 turns is also really, really good. Because that's going to help, of course, with Ragnar Spear, which is a 10-turn. Yes, you're reading that correctly. A 10-turn skill, and it has no skill cooldown under enhancements because I don't really think there would be a point. But anyways, so it is an armor-breaking skill. Soars into the air and hits the enemy with a spear with a 80% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Attacks with a more powerful element. You can also soul burn that to consume 10 soul and increase damage dealt. And of course, you can get that up an additional, let's see here. It appears to be 15, about 25%, and effectiveness an additional 20%, which would take that from 80% to a 100% chance to decrease defense. So very, very good skill, and it acquires 3 soul. So again, that is a 10-turn cooldown for a reason. It is a very devastating move, very, very powerful, and the S1 can somewhat help decrease that cooldown, which is amazing. So it's already getting, you know, self-sustained right there. Really cool. So the S2, Dragon Knight's Will, increases attack and critical hit chance by 20% if the caster's health is more than 50%. Or it increases defense and decreases chance of suffering a critical hit by 20% if their caster's health is less than 50%. And of course, you can skill enhance that if you would like. So, she's very self-sustainable. She gives herself a whole bunch of benefits. She's a very, very hard hitter. She is, in her own right, a boss killer. But do we need her? Is she an absolute must? Is she a character that we have to have, or we just can't live without? No. And we're going to go over a few characters that are very good, viable replacements that are currently already in a game that a lot of you are probably already building up and are enjoying playing with as well. And another thing about Luna that's also an issue is she's another ice type, and we already have so many ice types already in the game that it's a little bit kind of overwhelming. We need some more character types, like possibly Fire Knight and Fire Warrior would be nice to get a few more of those trickled into the game. Litica. But anyways, why is everyone so amped up about Luna and they have to have her? I think it's not the fact that she's good, because she is good. Do not get me wrong. We just went over her skill set. She is very powerful, especially if you want to talk about killing hunts, raids, and bosses via Abyss. So she's going to be good in that regard, absolutely. She's going to be one of the best in that regard as well. However, I think the biggest reason that people want her isn't because of the things hanging from her chest, but the fact that Korea has it and the global doesn't. And I think that just really gets under the skin of a lot of players. Plus, there's a lot of players out there that played the Korean version first, and thus they probably played with Luna, and now they can't play with her on global, and it bothers them, which is very understandable. But a big thing that you need to understand is Korea is going to always be catered to before global, because the game's region, home region, of course, is Korea. Same with Japanese-based gacha games. They're going to cater to the Japanese more than the global, always. It's just, that's the way it is, and it's sad and unfortunate. And another reason that we really probably aren't going to get Luna, and if we do, it's going to probably just piss people off even further, is because if we get Luna, Korea is probably going to get another exclusive character that we're also going to have to wait a long time to get. Because remember, Luna was a limited character in Korea. So if Global gets Luna, what is Korea going to get? Are they going to give Luna again? I don't think so, because I just think that would piss off the Korean player base as well, because they're going to say, okay, hey, we've already had her, and for all the big whales that already have her on Korea, they're not going to have anything to summon, and I don't think Smilegate wants to go down that road. So if we get Luna, there's a chance that Korea could get something else. Maybe they get Litica and we get Luna, and then we're going to be pissed off, complaining on social media for the next few months that we don't have Litica. So the cycle is going to continue. So guys, calm down. Luna will come when she comes. Pause. Okay. Anyway, so we'll get Luna at some point, probably, but who knows when. Let's just quit claiming that every banner on social media every week is going to be Luna. Like, that's all I see, guys. Enough is enough. Yes, she's good, but she's not the end-all, be-all of the game. Now, what are some of the replacements for Luna, and as to why we don't really need her right now, or really at all? But I know we're going to get her, but we just don't really absolutely need her. Let's go over a few units, possibly, that could be good replacements for her, or even maybe in some regards better, that we already currently have in the game. So let's go ahead and back out of this. All right. So while we're already on the Warriors, let's go through some of the Warriors here that could possibly be good replacements or better options for Luna. So we have, of course, nothing under ice. Let's go through all the elements here. So Ravi's very good, but definitely not a replacement. Ken, new buffed Ken, is absolutely just ridiculous. His S3, Phoenix Fury, consumes 100 fighting spirit. When he gets that off, especially if you get his one turn cooldown down to 5, he's going to do stunning. He decreases attack for 2 turns, so he's got armor break, and vigor gives himself his own self-sustained increased attack and defense. This dude can do a little bit of it all, and his S2 that he got recently from his buff is just stupid. It's only a 3-turn cooldown, increases speed, decreases the defense, so another armor breaking move, and again he gets vigor, which is another increased attack and defense of himself, which is just stupid. So this is going to be another character, and by the way, this is one of the easiest to build DPSers in a game, because he completely scales to max HP, so you can build this guy on full HP sets or HP crit or HP hit or whatever you want to do, and this guy is going to be absolutely amazing. Some of you have already experienced this guy in PvP. Some of you have been using this guy in PvP or even in certain boss heavy levels like Abyss or Raid or whatever, or even Hunt, and this dude is just dominating. He is a very, very hard hitter, and the fact that his entire attack can scale to max HP, you can get his HP to 15, 20, even some people have him at 30k HP, and this dude is a monster. Ken got such a huge buff that he went from one of the worst 5 stars to one of the best characters in the game. Absolutely amazing. And he's been in the game since day one, so a lot of people may have him or have already pulled him. And if you haven't yet and you do, congratulations, you just picked up a really strong character. Now, his S1 is also really good as well. It's also in defense, break, burn, and vigor. I mean, he just defense breaks all over the place, man. Except for his final one, it's defense, decrease attack. I apologize. I incorrectly put decreased defense on his S3. It's actually decreasing attack, but that's fine. It's still good. So my apologies for that. But so Ken is definitely a good option. I'm not going to go into detail on everybody because we'd be here forever. But just some other options here. You got a very hard hitter in Euphine. You have a, let's see, let's go to dark now. We got martial artist Ken. Cannot forget about the boy. Of course, barely anybody in the game has him because he's just so hard to pull, especially from Moonlights. Assassin Cartuja, my boy that I'm rocking right now. Another big heavy hitter that is going to do some serious damage, and he's good for all levels of content, PvE, PvP, it does not matter. This dude can go off. He's another defense break unit as well. Very, very awesome. He even gives himself combat readiness, and he got some kind of AoE evasion as well. Very, very good unit. So that's another option. We even got the free-to-play Lorina, which you can turn into a Commander Lorina right here. I mean, and if you guys are trying to pull for Luna because of assets, I mean, why pull? Why spend money for that when there's websites you can go to for free? Or you can get yourself Commander Lorina for free as well just by putting in a little bit of effort, a few weeks of effort, and you got her. We also have Chaos Sect Axe, which isn't technically, well, I guess you could say he's easier to pull of the Moonlights because he is a 3-star, but he's not too easy because he still is a Moonlight, so you still got to do the summons. But that's another option, but he's not really one of the ones that I'd put, you know, up there as terms of big DPSer. I mean, he has potential to be a really hard hitter, of course, but he's just not up there with like an Assassin Cartuja, Commander Lorina, or even Martial Artist Ken when it comes to at least in the dark types. We got Light here. Not really too much of anything going on in here. Judge Kise is okay for PvP, but not so much as what Luna can do, so I wouldn't really say anything with that. I don't believe we're going to find anything in Knights. Let's go through really quick. Shadow Rose, very, very good unit, but she doesn't really kind of fit that role of a heavy DPSer that we're looking for when it comes to good replacements for Luna. But she is very, very good, though, especially with her combat readiness 50% and all that. Oh, boy. Let's see. Anything in here? Nope, no in Ice. Fire, nothing there as well. So let's go to Mage. Now, Mage is going to get a little bit interesting because there are a couple in here that are disgusting DPSers. And one of them, of course, is Araminthra. She was very underrated at the beginning of the game, but boy, oh boy, when she gets her burns off, which, by the way, burns are 60% of the caster's attack, absolutely disgusting. So there's a really good, strong, heavy DPSer right there as well, Araminthra. We also have, let's go to water now. Okay, let's go to Earth. Just trying to go through all these so I don't miss anybody. All right. We have Challenger Dominique, arguably one of the best DPSers in the game. And she actually, if you can get her critical rate up high enough during the match, she's actually going to probably out-damage Luna all day long and possibly one-shot bosses. So if you're looking for a really good replacement for a really badass DPSer that's going to go in and do some really crazy damage, look no further than Challenger Dominique. Now, of course, she's going to be a little bit harder to pull because she is a Moonlight character and a 4-star. But if you pull her, oh my goodness, get her to 6-star, get her crits up, and give her probably Destruction Set, and watch her just absolutely one-shot everything under the sun because she is that damn good. So Challenger Dominique is definitely one of the favorites when it comes to high-end DPS. So some more options there. Let's go to Light. All right, Guider Aether is actually really good in Hunt as well, but I don't feel like fits the role exactly. But Guider Aether is also a really good solid option when you're looking for specifics. All right, Thief. Let's go to Fire. Oops. Let's go to Fire Thief. We have Haste. Very, very strong and heavy DPSer. It can spam the crap out of bleeds and also has Vampire's Touch, which is amazing for basically just giving your whole team HP back by doing damage. Absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the better units. He has been since day one, and he still is today. Haste is absolutely awesome. All right. Let's see. Surin also fits certain roles in like hunt and stuff like that, but I wouldn't put Surin up there with the rest in terms of what we're trying to accomplish in today's video. All right, of course, we got Kisei. Kisei's damage potential is also off the charts, especially when you're dealing with defense penetration with her S2 and, of course, her S1. When you burn, it can do massive damage, especially that 70% boost if there is a barrier up. And her S3 does quite a lot of damage as well, especially when she's at full HP. So Kisei is definitely another one of those hard hitters that a lot of people love and are using right now today. Karen is a DPSer. I mean, she's a 4-star. She doesn't get as much love as she probably deserves, but she really needs to be built in a certain way. 100% crit, obviously, to make use of her skill set. So she definitely takes a lot of investment, but if you get the investment into her, I tell you what, Karen is also pretty up there when it comes to hard-hitting single-target DPSing for sure. But I don't think I'd still put her up there with the level of some of the other ones, but just to give her a little bit of a nod. All right, let's go to Earth here. We got... Okay, that's it. The verdict is still out on Violet on how hard he can hit. We're going to still keep doing more testing and get more information from some of the players here in the Discord and other forums and other YouTubers and stuff like that. But Violet definitely has potential to hit pretty hard as well. But I don't know if I'd put him in an exact category when it comes to like straight up DPS, because he feels like more of a... Like, he wants to be somewhat tanky, but very evasive as well. He's like one of those characters that you want to have there that's just not going to die easily and just can sit there and just keep nitpicking at damage, which is very, very good as well. But I don't know if I'd put him in the role of some of the other stuff that we've talked about today. But still, very, very, very good unit. I wouldn't say he's amazing, but I'd say he's decent. He's decent. All right, let's go to Dark. Of course, we have Assassin Sid, spam poisons. Very, very strong, hard-hitting DPS unit as well, as is Assassin Kali. She can silence as well in her S3. Very, very powerful. We have Bloodblade Karen. She doesn't really fit the role as her predecessor, which would be the regular Karen, but she's a very good farmer. But she can still get up there pretty high with DPS, but you definitely have to vest the crap out of her, though. She's definitely a little bit harder to kind of manage when you're trying to make her a DPS unit. All right, and that'll do it for that. Let's go down to Soul Weaver and then Ranger. Then we're going to wrap this up. So, let's go to Fire. Of course, nothing there. Hazel, I got a video for you coming. Don't worry. Of course, we got nothing in here. DN, one of the best supports in the game, as well as Angelica for healing and all that immunity spam. All right, so there ain't really too much. I didn't expect anything to come out of course, Soul Weaver, but I definitely just wanted to go through it just to go through it. Doris, I got a video coming one day for Doris, boy. Woo! All right, Fire units. So Shuri is also a very, very high DPS character, but he's going to take a lot of investment as well. So he's a 4-star option as well. Yuna, if you build her to the moon, she's going to be able to go off pretty cool. Pretty hard as well with her meteor cannon, especially if you're dealing with bosses. So she's another boss killer. It's kind of funny because you got Luna and Yuna, both ice. Yep. But yeah, she's another one of those free-to-play units that you can get for free with a little bit of time and effort on your account, grinding up some of her materials that you need to get for her, unlock her, build her up, and then boom, you got yourself a nice, strong you know, boss killer. And if you don't have DN, she's kind of somewhat of a good replacement for DN as well, because she does offer you that increased attack and speed on her S2. So there's that as well. So Yuna is definitely another prime example of a good, solid DPSer in the game that we already have. So let's go to Earth now. Of course, Earth, we got Bellona. What can you say about Bellona? It's not already been said. She is absolutely amazing. Probably easily the top 3 unit in the game right now. Of course, probably behind DN and, of course, Moonlight Ken. She's definitely up there. Her damage potential is off the charts. If you give her critical and destruction sets, she's going to explode on everything. And she could actually maybe possibly challenge Challenger Dominiel for one of the best boss killers we currently have in the game, if you can get her built up the right way with very high, like 300% plus critical damage and, of course, 100% crit chance. So if you can build her like that, if you got the materials, the gear, the gold to invest into her and get her skill cooldown, of course, on her S3 and all that other good stuff. She's also an AoE defense breaker, which is amazing. If you completely max out her skill 3, you could take that up to, looks like 80%. Yeah, about 80%, which is very, very good. Yep. And what's really crazy about Bellona is her S1 can actually proc her S3 immediately, which is insane. So, wow. Bellona, what a unit. What a unit. Another strong unit, not technically a DPSer, but could be used in a similar method, is Kiris because of how much she can spam her poison off of her S3 into her S1. She's not really a DPS unit per se, but if you give her like Daydream Joker and you're taking on a very high HP boss, she could do somewhat of a similar results and do a crap load of damage as well. But I wouldn't say that she's naturally a DPSer at all, but she can kind of become that way depending on how you build her and what things you're taking on. So I just want to give a little nod to Kiris as well. Of course, she's nowhere near a DPS replacement for any of the other units we've said, but for what she can do, it's still pretty damn good and, you know, deserved a little bit of a nod here on the video. Of course, and I do believe that Watcher Shuri as well can also be a very hard-hitting unit as well with the proper investment. So we'll give him a little bit of a nod as well there before we get out of here. So I do believe we went through all the characters available. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. So do we need Luna? Not really. Do we want Luna? Absolutely. Who wouldn't? It's another unit, another strong unit. And, you know, always having variety is always the best, right? But we do not need her, but we do want her. That's pretty much the conclusion of this video. We have a lot of good, strong options that a lot of you are probably already using today. A lot of you have probably already cleared 80 Abyss and cleared Hell Raid and all that good stuff with the units available. So we don't absolutely need her. We don't need to say that every banner is going to be her. But, excuse me, she will drop when she drops. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, comment below what you guys think. Like the video if you did as well. Subscribe if you're new. And join us in the Discord in the description below. Sorry if the video is a little bit long, but I kind of wanted to go through everything that I could. Until next time, hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Until then, peace.